11:30. I welcome you. Looking forward to an exciting presentation today. I'm glad we have our own member, Ferrers, to do the presentation. It's on a subject that I think a few of us will not be entirely familiar with, so we are supposed to open our ears and eyes and absorb a lot as much as possible and learn something exciting, hopefully. This applies definitely to me. I am not familiar with the subject that's being discussed today, so I think it's very exciting and look forward to learning a lot. And with that, Ferrers, welcome, my personal welcome. Appreciate you making yourself available for this. And Mike, please make the announcements for the next few weeks.
Thank you very much indeed. Let me just share my screen for a moment. As usual, I have just a couple of announcements before we start the meeting. I know that Ferrers has a very full program today, so I'm going to keep it short at this end and save most of the stuff for the end of the meeting. A quick reminder to anybody who wasn't with us last week that before Christmas, Dan introduced the concept of $40 gift vouchers, which you can give to your loved ones if you have any Apple-friendly, Apple-leaning relatives or friends as gifts. And if you should fancy buying one for somebody, you just need to go to this area where your profile is, top right of the website. Click on your name and you'll see gift a membership. I can think of no better way to spend $40. Our meeting next week is with Jeff Bohr, who we haven't seen for a while, so it'd be great to see him back in the hot seat. And he's going to be talking about migrating purchases from one Apple account to another, which I think is something that a lot of people have wanted to do for a long time. And Apple have finally got their act together and made the facility available. I will now stop my share and pass you over to Sheeta, who will just talk about questions and introduce Ferrers. Thank you very much. All yours,
Thank
Sheeta.
you. Thank you. Everyone, if you do have questions, please put them in the chat. If they are burning questions that we need to interrupt Ferrers, we will. But otherwise, put your questions in the chat. We're going to let Ferrers do his presentation. He has a lot that he wants to cover today. And welcome, everyone. Ferrers, it's wonderful to have you here doing a presentation for us. I believe this is your first of many. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to you, Ferrers.
Thank you, Sheeta. Right, I'm going to start off with a little introduction. So I'm going to share my screen. And there we go. Right. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. And that's me. Or perhaps I should be saying, using BetterTouchTool to have more control of your Stream Deck. I'm going to be presenting a lot of stuff, probably new to you, but there is a comprehensive handout that goes with this. So that should all be handled there. Right. Right. I am sure you've got loads of questions, such as, what is a Stream Deck? What is BetterTouchTool? And the big one, what does this do for me? And that's the one I'm just going to address here. It, in a nutshell, will make you more productive by putting functionality at your fingertips. When you see the Stream Deck, it's basically a load of buttons, and you can have multiple functions assigned to a single button on the Stream Deck. And I'll give you a specific example where this can make you more productive. Anne gave a great presentation on UpNote, but she said UpNote has got loads of keyboard shortcuts, but I can't remember them all. Right, with the Stream Deck, you could put all those functions, although I would just put the functions that I'm likely to use frequently, onto various keys on the Stream Deck. So you don't need to remember all the shortcuts. You'll have a little icon, you hit the button, and that's like pressing the shortcut. But it's not limited to the applications functions. You can run shortcuts, Apple scripts, keyboard, Maestro macros, anything that enhances your workflow. All right. So Elgato, the Stream Deck's made is the brand name of Elgato's range of control devices. It's a German company, or it was a German company that made high quality hardware for video creators. Back in 2005, a Russian company came up with the idea of a keyboard where each of the keys was a little color OLED screen, the Optimus Maximus, that cost $1,490 and shipped in 2008. Taking inspiration from the Russian keyboard, Elgato releases the original Stream Deck in April 2017. Right, this is the Mark II. In the meantime, Elgato has been taken over by Corsair, which is an American company which I believe specializes in gaming. The Mark II Stream Deck, which we see here, retails at about $150, and it has LCD screens. So we've got 15 LCD screens there. It has a big brother, the XL. This retails for about $250, less than twice the price, but over twice as many keys. It's also got a little brother, the Mini. This is about $60. I think this is too small to be useful, really. A new addition is the Plus. This retails about $200. So in addition to the 8 control keys at the top, which are slightly larger than the ones on the other Stream Decks, it has 4 rotary controls that also act as push buttons. And we've got a display area here, which is customizable and is also touch sensitive. I haven't personally played with one of those. And another new one is the Neo. So an extra 2 keys on the Mini, 33% more. This retails at about $100. The display here shows you the time, and I know that is customizable, but I don't know how customizable. In addition, there are 2 little switches here, which switch to new sets of buttons, so pages or profiles, whatever you like to call them. And finally, there is a pedal. This is also called a Stream Deck. This is $70, and all of these are controllable by BetterTouchTool. I learned about the Stream Deck on podcasts such as The Automators and Mac Power Users. And this is the one that I got, the big boy, and I paid £179 for it on Prime Day 2022. Now, on the podcast, they raved about the Stream Deck, and I knew I needed one. But its software was its weak point, being janky and unresponsive, they said. But BetterTouchTool could be used to control the Stream Deck and gave it much more control. Now, I was already a user of BetterTouchTool. So, what's BetterTouchTool? Well, it started as a side project by a guy who developed it to enable people to have more gestures with their trackpad. And then he went on to use it for keyboard control and mouse control. And it was when the MacBook Pro introduced the touch bar, things really took off. And he decided to give up his day job and just concentrate on BetterTouchTool. So it was no longer free and became a paid-for application. It's a great app. As you can see, it's a real Swiss Army knife, and it is both controllable by Apple scripts and by Apple shortcuts. And you can use a URL scheme as well with it. It also controls the Elgato Stream Deck and has a very generous 45-day trial period. Now, the cost for this is $14, and that gives you 2 years of updates, and then you can use it for as long as you like whilst it works. But what you want is the $24 lifetime license. This application is very actively developed. Since I started doing this presentation, they've introduced floating windows and they've introduced a pop clip style interface as well. Amazing. So, as I say, I was already a BetterTouchTool use when I got my Stream Deck. So that's why I'm using it. Right. Now, Elgato obviously has its own software for controlling the Stream Deck, but Brett Terpstra, who is presented to this group, says it's awesome. And BetterTouchTool adds to the scope of the capabilities of vastly larger. And this is a really worthwhile article to read, because not only does it talk about using the Stream Deck with BetterTouchTool, but it talks about whether you should use it in conjunction with the Elgato software or standalone like I do. Anyway, there's a link to that in the handout. In July last year, the automators reviewed the state of the Stream Deck. This episode confirmed my decision to use BetterTouchTool to completely control the Stream Deck was the right one. Right, so that's BetterTouchTool. We've seen the hardware. Let's bring them together. Now, during the demonstration that I'm just going to do, you're not actually going to see my Stream Deck. So I've made a short video. And I'm just going to talk through what I'm going to do, and then we'll see the video. So I'm going to start by opening a couple of frequently used applications, or applications that I frequently open, which have been assigned to Stream Deck buttons. Then I use mission control to show my desktops, and using the same button, but by holding that button down, I hide all the applications, do a Option Command H. I then switch to a different preset that I call settings. Here I have a button that will turn on a light behind my screen. Another rotates the image on my secondary screen for when I turn the screen round into portrait mode. I briefly show my status board. This is a load of keys on my Stream Deck that glow green or have green backgrounds when everything's running. And if something isn't running, it has a red background. I then bring up my time machine controls, again from the Stream Deck. I hope to demonstrate that. Returning to my main setup, which is the default preset, I launch a Zoom meeting that joins my next scheduled meeting. It starts OBS and my camera control software. I then use the Stream Deck to control the camera. I quit Zoom and associated software and then go into my email mode, what I call it, and then I switch to my water tower mode, where I do my research into water towers. When I switch to these modes, you'll see more buttons light up on the Stream Deck. So let's have a look. So here we are. So that's AnyList coming up, and that's drafts coming up. That's mission control, hiding the applications. And a long hold, and they're hidden. So now we've gone to the settings, and I've just pressed a button, which there's a bit of a delay, and the light comes on behind my screens. Oh, that's the rotation of the screen. And here we go. That's my status board. So I come out of there. There are my time machine settings. Pregnant pause there, and we will go back to the main screen. And here we go, we're launching a Zoom meeting. Now this is a combination of Stream Deck, BetterTouchTool, and Keyboard Maestro, and Raycast. So that's all automated. And here I'm using the Stream Deck to play with my camera.